Hello everyone, thanks again for tuning in to my channel, to my video. This is the review video of the Hulk from Hot Toys Age of Ultron Deluxe version. So thanks a lot for joining me again in my video. Now, before I wanted to make this review video, I really had many good things to say about this figure. So maybe I'll talk in general why this figure is a must get. I was thinking which figures I could post or display it alongside, and there are many that we can really do it. It's really how would I put it, authentic and real to the movie as portrayed in the movie. For example, you can easily portray it with the Hulkbuster. That is a must. And of course, not forgetting Ultron. So if you remember in the Age of Ultron movie, Hulk was definitely battling the Hulkbuster, Tony Stark and Ultron. So definitely you can display it beside the Hulkbuster and the Ultron Prime, which will definitely look fantastic. And of course, Thanos. Now, we all know that the Hulk battled Thanos in the beginning of Infinity War. So it's definitely a great figure, the Thanos figure, to display beside this Hulk figure. And even if you didn't get the Thanos from Infinity War, there is the Thanos from Guardians of the Galaxy version, or the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So I thought this Hulk figure is definitely interesting. And of course, not forgetting, right, we can display it or pose it beside Natasha Romanoff or Black Widow. So we know how the story developed in Age of Ultron, where the love or the emotional aspect of Hulk and Black Widow was really developed and explored in that movie. Now, on to the figure in particular. Now we can all see here that this is the deluxe version. You all know, I mean, many of you would know by now, I usually like to get the special edition version or the movie promo version or the deluxe version of any figure. And this is really, how would I put it, mustn't miss this, because the deluxe version comes with this, and it comes with the raised arms. Now, I cannot remember if the normal or original version comes with two head sculpts, but I'm really glad I got this because of, no, I mean not because of, I really got this, and I'm really happy that I'm able to receive both head sculpts. So this is a must-have. Now, so maybe before more about the figure in general, let me show everyone how you can actually move the eyeball. So you can see here, you can remove the hair sculpt, right, or the hair piece. So it is by magnet. Same for the other head sculpt. I'll demonstrate later. So I don't think, as usual, like I always mention in my videos, magnet is a good idea, but I guess it's the only best way to help secure this hair piece to the head sculpt. So you can see here, you can adjust the eyeball accordingly to where you want the Hulk to look at. So before I made this video, I already adjusted it to where I wanted it to look at. So I think it's amazing. It's really amazing that Hot Toys give us the option of adjusting the eyeball where it's looking at. So you can see here more magnet pieces to make sure that the hair piece stays on. So I think there's a problem. Even just now, as I took it out, the problem I faced was really clipping it back securely in. So of course you shouldn't force it unless you've damaged the figure. So just gotta be more careful. Now, more of the head sculpt. You can see here, the teeth is really real. And this is really what I like about Hot Toys, details and authenticity. Really looks like real life. Okay, even the chest hair as well, the color. So I'll talk more about the color later on. Now, I apologies in advance, but I will not attempt to remove the body to place this in, or maybe I will. Okay, let me think about it as I'm making this video. Now, so you can see here, it allows the legs to bend a bit, or the foot area, and the hands, interchangeable hand pieces. So there's only an extra pair over here as shown. And of course, I think for many times I've heard about collectors complaining that they should have made it seamless, or they gave an opinion of making it seamless. But I guess it's really a give and take. If you make it seamless, right, we can't exchange the hands for more options. So I mean, I definitely agree. Seamless does have its beauty, but I guess it's really down to personal choice or personal individual preference. So for this head sculpt, it's the same. So maybe let me bring it down and show it to everyone. Okay, I can remove the hairpiece. Okay, maybe let me tilt this around. So I can remove this. Of course, gotta be careful and more gentle, lest you damage the figure. Okay, I think I have difficulty removing it. Okay, finally it's out. So the same thing as the previous head sculpt. Can adjust the eyeball. Oh, you see here, there's a missing magnet, and I realize it's been stuck to here. Oh, so there's a minus point there. So the magnet is stuck to here instead of staying in place. So let me attempt to put this back. Okay, it snaps back in quite quickly. So there you have it. I think later on I might need to fix the magnetic parts, make sure that it stays in place. So this is a different head sculpt. As usual, you can look, its eyes are real. Of course, as mentioned, I put it to the default or to my preference. The position of the eyeball has already been placed properly. Look at the teeth, how real it is. Yeah, this is really an expression of the hawk. Now, moving along, I think the pants, the material is quite good, it's flexible. I think as collectors, right, just got to be careful. This hawk figure is quite heavy, so we shouldn't, how would I put it, hold it with one hand because it's a bit heavy and it might tear the cloth if you're not careful. Okay, I think over here there's some problem. Okay, so you can see here, this is the part where we remove the figure, the top part of the figure, if you want to interchange between the two different upper body parts of the figure. Now for posability, right, you can feel the joints, right? You can bend the knees and the elbow at the figure, so I will not do that because I've also heard of comments from collectors that it might strain this plastic-like outer covering of the figure. So it's also a good idea to put it in museum pose, but I think this is one of the rare figures I will not pose it in museum. I would definitely want to pose it in the punching position with the Hulkbuster. Of course, I already pre-ordered the Hulkbuster Deluxe version, so I'm glad I got that. I'm definitely posing it with this Hulk. But of course, I won't be posing the punching pose for too long. I think any Hot Toy figure, you put it in an extreme or different position, other than the museum pose, it might damage the figure in the long term, or after some time. Now, on to the other aspects. So, if you remember what I showed you, the instruction manual, so it mentioned that the fingers can be posed or turned up and down. Now, as I was doing it, right, I realized the fingers were not that posable. and I was very hesitant and reluctant to force it. I definitely don't want to force it down or up lest I damaged it, so I rather the fingers stay at default position. Yep. Now, something that I really need to point out to everyone also, as you can see, right, there's this white piece here and this white piece here. Now I have to remove at least 5 times this amount from these two hands, or even on the Hulk figure itself. So there was actually a piece that was stuck here. So I realized that they were actually pieces of the styrofoam. So I purposely left this small piece and this small piece here for everyone to take note of. So it's really not good for a figure to stay too long in a box, in the styrofoam box. And the styrofoam box will get stuck to this figure. So you see, as I'm handling it, right, it has a slight, very slight sticky feeling. So taking note of the time or the year this figure was produced or released. It was released in 2015, third quarter or fourth quarter, as indicated online on the Hot Toys website. So it's been more than 3 years already, so it's not good to leave your figures in the box. I don't know about you, as usual it's up to individual preference, but I always think that Hot Toys should be displayed with out of the box, in the cabinet or on your shelves somewhere. Just got to display it really. If not, I think it's quite a pity, quite a waste. So I think, as you heard just now, there are some clicks to it as I'm posing the figure, but I'm just bringing it back to the museum pose. Now, probably a few more points. So you can see here, for this head sculpt, right, I can't seem to get the head to look up. The moment I move it upwards, I will be removing the head sculpt. So got to take note there of this head sculpt. But for this head sculpt, I think it's more, yes, more, how would I put it, axis of turning. Okay, more degree of freedom of turning, so I can even get it to look up. So I guess the posability here is quite different between these two head sculpts. So there you have it, everyone, the Age of Ultron Hulk Deluxe version from Hot Toys figure. Maybe just 2 more points. Now, I feel that this figure is definitely a must get, because actually I was hoping for them to release the endgame version of the Hulk with just the shots. But if I'm not wrong, endgame, I mean at this point of this video, endgame definitely hasn't been released yet. It's at least 3 to 4 more weeks before it's released. But they have released stills, they have released still photos or pictures of the Hulk in a fully covered clothing. So even if I was to get that, I mean, I really wanted to get a Hulk that was more, how would I put it, signature or characteristic of the Hulk with just the shots. Even some collectors complain that this version is too perfect of a piece of shots, and they would rather have the one from Avengers 1, which was, of course, was the torn purple shots. So I think the Hulk figure is more characteristic if it had the shots rather than a full body or fully clothed Hulk. I mean, I will definitely be getting the endgame one, but I just wanted to get this first since it has been released for a long time, and I really wanted to pose it with the Hulkbuster. I think that's the main reason why I bought it, to pose it with the Hulkbuster. Of course, like I mentioned, you can pose it with other figures like Thanos or Black Widow or Ultron for that matter. And my last point, I think I really like this figure a lot because sometimes less is really more. As you can see, these are all the parts there is to the Hulk figure. There's no other accessories. And sometimes I really like the figure, or I prefer the figure to be more simple. As I mentioned, really sometimes less is more. I mean, I've unboxed many hot toys, and I'm about to unbox many more to come. And sometimes I feel that the accessories are really too many, until I don't even know if there are any more accessories left in the box, because usually I will display my figures with the more essential or important accessories. So I really don't have to worry about this one for this figure. Definitely have no more accessories in the box for this Hulk figure. So I think at this point in time I'm really confused, or I'm really lost myself as to whether there are more accessories in the boxes of the Hot Toys that I've unboxed, or the ones that are already on display are the only ones there, and the box is already left empty. So thank you so much for your attention. I think this has been a rather long review video. It's one of the longer ones I've made. So as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and don't stop collecting. Goodbye everybody. Take care and goodbye.